reactions from round 5. No doubt about the legitimacy of this knockdown. And when Ronald Hearns goes down face first like that, well, I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10, a fighter falling face first from a knockdown does not get up. And I thought here that even if he did get up, he wouldn't finish the round. He did, partly because he's got a lot of heart, and partly because Harry Joe Yorgey really didn't press the action, as Nick said.
Man, some fascinating stuff unfolding here in Miami, Oklahoma on ShoBox. Our first fight of the night, main event coming up. Andre Durrell, Derek Findlay, as we hit the 6th of a scheduled 12-rounder.
And Nick, Ronald Hearns no longer behind us. He ran over in between rounds to the corner to address his son.
And scorecard, Steve.
48-46 Yorgey, based solely, the difference solely based on that 5th round, 10-8 round for Yorgey.
Okay, we can't tell how badly Hearns was hurt. What do you see in his body language, Steve?
Oh, I think he was hurt badly. I do think that. Right now, he doesn't look good to me because he's not snapping the jab. And look at him pushing and kind of grabbing on the inside. He doesn't look comfortable.
So if that's the case, what should Yorgey be doing? We talked about him pressuring a lot more.
There's no point in Harry Joe waiting on the outside. He's got to diversify his attack a little bit, but he still has to depend on that big right hand. But jab first, maybe throw a body shot on the way in. But don't let Hearns work.
Constant new angles from Yorgey, very nicely done as he continues to turn, but he's been running dangerously to the left and perhaps into Hearns' right-hand power. So we will watch that. I think Hearns is trying to set up that right hand. Nice combination from Hearns. Some of the zip obviously out of his tank because he came out smoking, Steve.
Well, they're both getting hit this round.
They've both been dropped. Hearns twice, Yorgey on the canvas as well, once in the 4th.
Maybe it shouldn't be a surprise, Nick, that Yorgey lacks a little bit of not only killer instinct, but the ability to finish his opponent. He's not a puncher, as we said. Maybe he is tonight.
Jeez, Steve.
But
yeah.
he's not been in this position where he's had to finish guys because he's had them hurt.
That's a good point. But it is impressive that a guy who we said lacks power has dropped his opponent, his unbeaten opponent, twice. On a big stage. This is not a club fight at no offense to the Blue Horizon, right? And Yorgey flat out said that he wants to elevate his games. Hearns waiting a lot here. Yorgey definitely knows how to fight. He may have limitations, Steve, but really does move well. Hearns on the way back, instead of coming forward, lands that right, so no power on it.
And the other factor, Nick, is the more Yorgey attacks, the more Hearns has to use his legs. And those legs have been compromised by that knockdown in round 5.
Yeah, not a lot of body punching from either guy.
Hearns is falling backward now sometimes as he throws that right hand. He's not going to get any power in doing that.
Yes. Nice return fire from Harry Joe Yorgey. Close round, Steve. Halfway through, if they make it through 12. Stick around.
Good. He's walking into you face first. His face is arriving before his jab. You need to throw more jab to keep him off, okay? Don't let him just walk in on you. All right, and your hands out your mouth. Listen, you throw a jab. 47 coming. Thank you. You feint a jab, and shoot a feint a jab, a feint a 2, and shoot a left hook. It's going to be like you back it up on your 2s, right back into a hook. All right? Come on, baby. You got to work some of these angles, dog. You're standing in front of him, toes it. Stay on your toes, move side to side. He doesn't handle movement well. Bend over this. When you're in, stay there. Keep coming around. Just give me some more jabs. All right, I need more jabs. You let him take the pace and walk in. Come on.
Who'd you give that round to, Steve?
Close round. I give it to Hearns. I thought Yorgey won that exchange at the end, but Hearns' work the first half of the round was enough for me.
So a 1-point advantage, Yorgey halfway through, I believe you have it.
And the advice from Henry Racich, Nick, in between rounds to Yorgey, kind of curious. Clearly the advice given to a boxer, not to a puncher. And Yorgey's advantage here is as a puncher, not a boxer.
Well, they want him to jab a lot more.
That's okay, as long as he follows it with the right hand and jabs where he's close enough to reach Hearns with the right hand.
Yeah, exactly. But I still think it's a good idea. Don't let Hearns get into flow at all, because he has been knocked seriously out of sync since he's been down in the 4th and again in the 5th. Yorgey's got to get busy. We talked about him stealing rounds. He grabbed that 4th and he grabbed the 5th by the throat. Jab into the body now is Yorgey. Here comes Hearns now. Hearns trying to create that space, go back to what he was doing best early in the fight before he got caught. Steve, early in the fight, Yorgey was backed off. He had to back off a few times because he was really getting buzzed, I thought, by Hearns, but not anymore. He's being hit, but it's not the same thing, not the same effect.
Yeah, he's staying in the pocket, but he's not busy. And that's dangerous. Hey, you know, he needs to hurt Hearns again to win this fight, because if it goes to the cards, who knows?
But I don't think Hearns is hurting him.
Agreed. I don't think he's hurt him once yet.
I mean, he did early. I thought he had much more in his punches, and those knockdowns obviously took it out of him, especially that second one, that big right hand that put him on the deck. Hearns, low left hand. What else is new? He's done it his entire career. Yorgey is waiting.
And if he's waiting, it means he's looking to counterpunch. And you know what? He hasn't landed a single counterpunch of note this round yet.
He's been too short. Now he's in close. Willie Muscle tries the overhand right. Nothing really working here. Pretty sloppy.
Great footwork there by Hearns, though.
And maybe they're both taking a little bit of a breather. It's been a hot pace.
It has, and remember, we're going 12. Yorgey's been 12. Hearns never been past 8.
Hearns got caught and holding on. He's trying to hold on more. A little left hook. Now he gets slammed with a right hand. These are sloppy punches, but it's volume shots as Yorgey is relentless. And enough to take that round as he's chasing Hearns around. Oh, Hearns got hit flush there. You didn't hear the bell, but it was there. A bad finish to the 7th for Ronald Hearns.
Wreck his body, okay? Don't let him, oh shit, my bad. Don't let him out of there, okay? Wreck his body. More jabs. It's very disturbing to him, your jab. All right, listen, all he's trying to do is step back and catch you all the time. All right? Stepping back and trying to throw 3s and 4s at you. And 2s, all right? So you got this.
Tommy's fighting his own fight.
Don't sit still like all this round. Box it, jab, jab and pull him into a 1-2. Jab and pull him into a 1-2. Don't take it.
The irony here in action in round 7 is that Hearns landed the best punch of the night, a right hand immediately preceding Yorgey's big rally. Very strange that Yorgey would be able to break through right after Hearns landed his best right hand.
We're in the 8th, and Hearns arguably is behind. He's got to bite down and kick it into gear. Offensively, he's fought in very limited spurts since he had his world rock drop for the first time in the 4th and then once more in the 5th. We're in the 8th of a scheduled 12-rounder. Nick Charles with Steve Farhood. We are ringside in Miami, Oklahoma. Hope you're enjoying the special Saturday night edition. 2 unbeaten junior middleweights.
And Nick, before we know the answer to who wins this fight, you have to ask the question, if Harry Yorgey is hurting Hearns repeatedly in this fight, what would a puncher do?
You got it. If Yorgey were just were busier, if he were busier, he'd be taking the heart out of Hearns. He's making Hearns reluctant as it is, but he needs more volume. He told us he thought Hearns has been babied. Hearns has 17 KOs in his 21 wins, so there is always that respect for a puncher. And Hearns undoubtedly boxer puncher, but I thought he had the superior pop going in, and I still believe that. But he hasn't shown it.
I agree with you, and there's no argument. But he hasn't shown it.
And faster hands, and he hasn't let him go. Whoa, straight right hand. Yorgey acknowledges another one. But your point, Steve?
Well, a different point, Nick, is that we just saw Hearns land a couple of big right hands. Aside from the experience factor, which is the obvious difference between Ronald and Tommy Hearns, maybe the other difference is that when Tommy hits you with the right hand, it was lights out. We know that again and again and again. And it doesn't seem to be the case in the fights we've seen with Ronald.
Oh, I have no doubt, and that's putting an unfair burden on him.
Yeah, I mean, who punches like Tommy Hearns? But Ronald is built like he should have a huge right hand, and I'm not so sure he does.
No, but he's definitely jabbed right hand over the top.